Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Schools in LPSD are focusing on engaging their students and fostering their love of reading this week. All elementary schools are having book fairs, and for the first time since the pandemic, parents are able to join in for the fun. Our Shelby Clark has more in this week's Beyond the Classroom.
Jackham Community School is busy having students step into their library and look through new fresh books ready for the taking. Book fairs are usually brought to schools annually and is a great way to promote literacy by providing these opportunities for families in the community.
Probably the best way that we invite them in during parent-teacher interviews, and it's the best way that we can connect with them, showcase what we're about, highlight different initiatives, whether it be our virtual library platform, diversity within our schools and our library collections, which is huge. I mean, I just had a conversation with a student about that.
Due to the pandemic and having to pause book fairs in schools, staff are delighted to bring it back.
The sparkle in their eyes when they see that new Robert Munch book or that new Peppa Pig book, right? There's definitely lots of squeals. We've had a 2-year absence, and so a lot of our students don't either remember because it's been too long or just have never experienced the joy of the book fair. And if we all look back to our childhood, we all have very fond memories of circling those items in the catalog or whatever, you know.
Book fairs in previous years were always in person for people to look through, but with new methods that were put in place through the pandemic, Scholastic is expanding on using different platforms. Families can now either look through the school library or use the online and virtual option. People can order books online under their school code throughout the week, and proceeds will still go towards the school's fundraiser to help with resources. LPSD is proud to show diversity in all aspects through their schools, especially with the representation in this year's book fair.
We're really seeing a lot of diverse books where kids can actually come in, find a book, and see a true reflection of themselves. And that is so important, just to see that. And the excitement. I mean, a little girl saying to me, Mrs. T, I look at a book and I see, they look like me, right? And I think that is the biggest impact we can give our kids.
Students have been loving this year's book fair and all its aspects.
Can you tell me what your favorite part is about the book fair?
The smell of the new books.
You enjoy the smell of the new books? Why do you enjoy the smell of the new books?
I don't know. They just smell good.
And that's it in this week's Beyond the Classroom.
The 4th annual Lloydminster's Gift to Health live stream had a dozen teams playing dodgeball for 12 hours to raise money for local health care. While the Health Foundation continued to host the event throughout the pandemic, this year's event felt like a return to normal.
Last year it was 12 hours of running, this year it was 12 hours of dodgeball. Teams representing local businesses and organizations totaling 120 people donated money. And while they played throughout the day, residents watching on the live stream could donate as well. This year's event surpassed the expectations of the Health Foundation's CEO.
Such a great event. Everybody's come together, and you know, we're not just raising funds for healthcare, but we're building community. To see so many different businesses that are visiting with one another and talking, and you know, they're competing against one another, but they're there cheering for each other too. So it's so amazing to have this many people all together again.
Funds raised will go towards the community's biggest health needs. One of the big ticket items money will go towards is a new TIMS machine for the Lloydminster Hospital.
It analyzes swallowing, so anyone who has difficulties with swallowing, whether a senior, whether you're an adolescent, whatever that age may be, it's an enhanced piece of equipment that gives a higher definition, more shots per second, quicker diagnosis, and more accurate diagnosis for the speech and language pathologist.
Another need that will see funding is youth mental health. Highlighted by the tagline for the event, Dodge the Stigma. Mental health was a big motivator for participants.
Mental health awareness is important in not only in our work settings or with our school teams. And once we found out that Synovus was sponsoring the event again, like they did for the 12-hour run last year, a couple of the girls got together, put the teams together, and we just really wanted to be a part of it. Not only for Synovus, but it's important to all of us.
By the end of the event, just under $300,000 was raised, and you can still donate at lrhf.ca.
everybody who's made an effort to be part of this day, just genuinely, heartfeltly thank you, because not only are you helping healthcare in our community, but you're helping healthcare for your neighbor, for your loved one that may someday need that resource.
For Primetime Local News, I'm Jace Mackey.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
It's that time of year. Santa's coming to town, and Kurt Price is going to tell us all about it.
Kurt Price is joining me today from the new Lloydminster Nissan. Kurt is the co-organizer of Here Comes Santa Claus, which is happening this Saturday. Kurt, how excited are you to get back in the swing of things with Here Comes Santa?
Very excited to see Santa and the Grinch back inside the Atrium Center. Thank goodness they're back in the Atrium Center with the forecasted temperatures that we have this weekend. But, we have a lot of events that are inside. We have a fire outside for a wiener roast where you could warm up at Synergy Credit Union downtown. So we're very excited that the 15th annual is back again Saturday morning, kicking off with that pancake breakfast.
Well, and one thing, Kurt, that we need to mention is that everything is free. There's been lots of people financially struggling this year, but this event totally free for everybody with everything, correct?
Yep, everything's free. You don't need any money to participate in any of the events. You can take in the free pancake breakfast. There's free hot dogs, and if you visit with the Grinch, you get a DQ treat meal for the kids. You can have breakfast, lunch, and supper all in one day, and it's completely free. And that's because we have so many fantastic sponsors, Stacey, that have jumped on this event from day number one. And there's a lot of people that are planning to come out, and I hope they enjoy it. There's cookie decorating, there's gingerbread houses to make, there's glass ornaments. We have acrylic ornaments at Legacy DIY. We've added Sprinkles the Clown to our repertoire now. She's going to be at Legacy DIY with Magnificent Mark. So there'll be two people making balloon creations for the kids. We're trying to make it as fun as we possibly can, and yes, keep it completely free because of the terrific sponsors.
Well, let's talk about Santa and the Grinch, because obviously, let's face it, they are the stars of the show for the weekend. On Saturday, what time will their arrival be? Where will they be? And tell me about being able to take photos with them.
Yeah, real simple. They're going to be at the Atrium Center. They both arrive at 11 o'clock, and they'll be there till 2 o'clock. And upstairs will be Santa Claus, and downstairs will be the Grinch. And we have some great opportunities to take some photos with Santa, and that's what the events are all about now too, Stacey. There's a lot of photo op opportunities, so it's free. Like go up, get a picture with Santa Claus. He's got treat bags from J Guard for the kids, and I mentioned the Grinch has some some Dairy Queen treats courtesy of Fountain Tire. Over across the street at the Olive Tree, kind of kitty corner, I guess, to the Atrium Center, we've got gingerbread houses at 3 o'clock, and there'll be an opportunity to take pictures with the gingerbread man there as well. Mrs. Claus is going to be at the cookie decorating, so giving people lots of opportunity to not only take part as a family, which this event is really focused around, but make some of those memories as well. Take some of those memories home with you.
One of the things too that some of the families like to do is take time out of their day to see one of the movies that is being shown. So tell me about the timing of that as well, and what kind of movies do they get to see?
Well, Elf is the movie, and it is going to show, I'm just counting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and sometimes in multiple theaters. So there's lots of opportunities to catch Elf for free at May Cinema 6. It starts at 9 o'clock. The first show's at 9 a.m. Can't catch that show, you go to 9:15, or you want to go to an afternoon show after you've seen Santa and the Grinch, you can go at 3:15. There won't be as many theaters in the afternoon. So if you really want to go see Elf, I suggest you go at some point in the morning would be the best time to catch it. The doors at the theater will open at 8:30, and everybody loves Elf. I'm shocked. I have an 8-year-old niece, and I thought, well, is this movie a little bit too, it's not a cartoon. Shouldn't it be a cartoon? And she was more excited for Elf than anything. So yeah, it's going to be, like you said, everything is free. You can buy some popcorn if you want while you're there, but the movies are free.
Well, and this is kind of the first year since the pandemic that it's really back in full force. And you have so many great sponsors that have jumped on board. Kurt, how much does that mean to you to have these people who have been, this is the 15th one, like from the beginning, or have even jumped on to help out with this and make this happen?
Well, it wouldn't happen without them. Like it really wouldn't happen without them stepping up and saying, "Yeah, I will sponsor that." Chris Hassel at Century 21 Drive, shoot him an email, and yeah, we'd love to take part of that again. Kevin at Sobeys, if we didn't do this, I think Kevin would be the saddest guy out there, and it creates a lot of work for him. But he's so happy to do it, and he's been part of it every year. Stephanie Dobson at Hank and Divorce Service and Synergy Credit Union every year. Crude Master Transport has been with us, I think, for the last 12 years. I could go back and check, but just some tremendous businesses. And the downtown, the city of Lloydminster and the downtown committee are also a huge part of this as well. So the downtown area redevelopment committee is huge for us. They help us out as well. We do want to keep it downtown. We do want to keep it for families. We do want to keep it free. That's our three things. We want families to be able to just spend some time together, and whether it's taking in a movie or going to decorate some cookies or make a gingerbread house, or even just come down to get pictures with Santa, or stop in for a hot dog. It gives families the opportunity to do something together, and it doesn't have a financial burden to go along with it. There's no cost at all. Now, if you want to, we have some other great prizes. Like you could do a coloring contest at Furniture Gallery. There's another great business that's been with us for a long, long time. It's not really a contest, Stacey. What it is kids can go there and color it or drop it off, color it and drop it off, and then there'll just be random draws for the prizes. It's not particularly how you color, it's just that you took the time to color it.
Well, Kurt, this is again such a great event, and congratulations to you as one of the organizers. And I know Deanna as well helps out, Deanna from the source too. So thank you guys so much for doing this. And for people to find kind of a concise list of everything that's happening, what's the best place to go for that?
Best place is the Meridian Source. You mentioned Deanna Wandler. She does a great job. Full size ad in the paper, cut it out, print it out if you're looking at the paper online, and you'll have that with you for the day to take, so you can go from one event to the other. Nice thing is the fireworks start at 5:00. So New Lloydminster Nissan Service Credit Union going to do that at the exhibition this year. Everything's listed there. Plus we have a Here Comes Santa Claus Facebook page. It's a very busy page at this time of year. And then it doesn't really bother you for the rest of the year. It just kind of sits there for the rest of the year until Christmas comes up. So yeah, and we have ads running on multiple radio stations, on Hot, on Boom, and on Real Country as well.
All right, Kurt. Well, thank you so much for joining me again, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you, Stacey. Really, really appreciate it.
We're starting a new financial literacy series with Synergy Credit Union here on Primetime Local News. Each week, we will discuss a new topic, with the first subject being the difference between banks and credit unions. Here's Stacey Comer.
We are starting a new series on financial literacy with Synergy Credit Union, and I'm happy to be joined today by Brianna and Amberly. Thank you guys for joining me today. I'm going to get you started out by telling me which branch you work at and your title. So Amberly, we'll go first with you, please.
Well, Stacey, thank you for having us. My name is Amberly Benoit, and I work out of the Neilburg and Marsden branches for Synergy Credit Union. I'm a financial services associate, so I help our members with any of their financial needs, from lending to investments and also daily banking.
All right, thank you. And Brianna, where do you work out of and what is your title?
Hi, thank you, Stacey. So my name is Brianna Sharp. I am an implementation and adoption representative. I mainly work out of the Lloyd branch, but I do travel around and visit all of our branches from time to time too.
Okay, so our first subject today is credit unions versus banks. And I know this is something people often have questions about. So we'll start with you, Amberly. Who can use a credit union?
Well, the reality is credit unions are for everyone. Credit unions take a holistic approach to our members' financial well-being, and they will be there for you through every stage of life.
Okay, and Brianna, do credit unions keep up with the pace of technology and cybersecurity?
Yeah, of course. So just a few examples for how credit unions keep up with the pace on technology. Many credit unions have ways to sign documents electronically. For online banking, they have many advanced features such as ways to deposit checks mobilely and ways to book appointments online. And of course, online security is something that we take very importantly. So we have things implemented such as facial recognition or one-time passcodes for online banking. And as well, all of our staff go through yearly required online training for cybersecurity.
Now, one of the frustrations when you call places is that you can't reach real people if you're trying to get information and you're going through numbers, but how does that work with Synergy when you're looking to contact real people to talk to your banking needs?
Well, for those who prefer to talk to real people, Synergy is your place. We source all our employees locally, and when you call, you're calling a branch, either Lloydminster or wherever it may be, but it is a local person who works in the community and is proud to serve the community.
All right, so what about when it comes to young people and seniors? I know that obviously that's a big difference in how they do their banking, but are you guys basically available to help everybody?
Yeah, of course. As we've said, credit unions are for everyone. So this, of course, does include both our young people and our seniors. Oftentimes, credit unions will even have special accounts dedicated to youth, students, or seniors. These accounts usually have low or even no cost fees with them, just to help, as we recognize that people of these age groups aren't in their prime income earnings, and so that's just a little bit to help them out.
Okay, and Amberly, what makes credit unions different? What's the main difference?
Well, one of the biggest differences is with a credit union, you're a member and you have a say in how the business is run. Profits are also shared with the membership. When the credit union does well, the members do well.
So it's a benefit for everybody.
Absolutely.
Okay, now I know we've covered a lot of things today, but if anybody wants more information, they obviously can see people in person. So can you tell me a little bit about contacting, where they should go, and also if they wanted just to access the website? What's the best way to find all the information?
Yeah, of course. So the best way to access would be, if you wanted to go to our website, it's synergycu.ca. On there, if you go to learn more and under our financial literacy, you'll see all of our It's a Money Thing material. So everything that we're going to talk about over the financial literacy segments will be found, you can find more information about it there.
All right, ladies, well, thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks for having us, Stacey.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Shifting on over into the world of athletics, the Lakeland Rustlers Men's Volleyball Club are heading into the holidays on a positive note. One member of that group is heading into it more so than the rest, holding a new record in the school's history. Our Adil Ahmed has the story.
The Lakeland Rustlers men's program are heading into the Christmas break in a good mood. After securing 2 important wins this past weekend against the Augustana Vikings, the Green and White are now sitting 4th place in the North Division.
We needed those 2 wins as a squad, and to finish on that note is huge as well, just for morale. And you know, those are games that we should have won, and sometimes it puts a little extra pressure on you, and it was very important for us to come away with those 2 wins.
The 5th-year setter is in a better mood than the rest of the group. Light recently became the new record holder on Friday in all-time assists at the college. With 1,509 and counting, he takes the top spot over his former teammate, Jose Arellano, and says he's honored to be holding the record.
It's a great honor, and I know of a couple of other setters that were here, and they're great setters as well, and that makes it even more of an honor. And yeah, you know, I was happy for sure, but more importantly, I was happy to win our game.
It's great to see a guy like Lane get some recognition for all the hard work he's put in. It's not an easy task, right, to come in and lead an offense, and it took a couple years to learn the position and to get comfortable with playing at this high level. And then now he's flourished year after year.
Blight and the Rustlers will now practice for the next couple of weeks and have lots of time to rest up during the upcoming holidays before they get back into game action on January 13th against the Ambrose Lions, who are currently riding a 5-game home win streak. Adil Ahmed, Primetime, Local Sports.
Heading on over to hockey news now. In the border city, the Bobcats have traded a forward to the SJHL.
Visser picks his pocket, he'll come out in front, goal!
The Bobcats have traded Chase Visser to the Nipawin Hawks for future considerations. Visser came to the organization from the St. Albert Raiders, where he was assistant captain. During the 21-22 season, Visser played 60 games, scoring 10 goals and assisting another 13. Visser was seen as a utility up and down the lineup, and the Bobcats thank him for his contribution to the team and community. As we are just about into the month of December, the cattle market begins heating up with more sales and the biggest show in Western Canada. Our Thomas Wildman has more of this week's cattle report.
We're here at Westman Farms, the site of the Westman Farms commercial bred heifer sale that will be taking place on site right here at the sale ring that we are at. And I got the opportunity to talk with Derek Westman about their offering that they're going to be having here on Monday.
It'll be our 23rd annual heifer sale. We'll have two different breeding groups. We'll have a February 1st calving group and then a March 22nd calving group. In the early calving group, we'll have some red and red baldy heifers, about 150 of them. And in the black group, we'll have a black and black baldies, about 150 of them also. And then we have some traditional red, white face Simmental heifers that there's about 60 of them that will calve in the early group. And then in the later group, we have about 50 black and black baldies and 50 red and red baldies. We've been doing it for 23 years as a sale, and I think we did it for probably 10 years before that. It's something my dad and myself really loved, the female side of the cattle industry. We kind of enjoyed it, and we need to keep some heifers for ourselves, so it worked good. We buy a lot of customer heifers back and put them back through the program, so majority of the heifers that we will sell here will be our own genetics coming back around in a long-term way. It's something we really enjoyed. My wife and myself and our two kids enjoy it also, and it's a tradition we keep continuing to do. It's our 5th year here at the ranch, about 15 miles straight south of Vermilion, right on Highway 41. Lunch will be at noon, and sale will be at 2, so you got time to get your chores done. Everyone's welcome. We'll have a quick snappy sale at 2 o'clock, and then have some socialization afterwards.
In terms of shows, this week will be the Canadian Western Agribition down at Regina, and lots of our local breeders will be down there competing, including Twin Springs Farms, the owners of the Grand Champion Female at the Lloydminster Stockade and the Grand Champion Female at Farm Fair International. I got the opportunity to talk to Braden Thompson about his Grand Champion Female.
I mean, we bought her a few years ago out of the sale Friday Night Lights. Her and her sister were kind of the two talk about females. Just something new out of the new bull called Bats, and we knew that we wanted to own one of them, and we ended up with Mater Darlin, and we can't be happier with how that's gone so far. But yeah, it's crazy how much work's been going into it. I mean, it's been stressful just trying to make sure that cow stays milking and the calf stays interested in the cow. We were rinsing her every couple times a week, and this last week in between Edmonton and Regina, me and our partners Toby from Black Gold Simmental has been trying to wash her every day because, like he said, I wonder will be the next time we have a cow that's just good for Supremes. Oh, I mean, when we started out this fall, I had no intentions on winning a Supreme or even really being in a Supreme. But yeah, this whole winning a Supreme, it's definitely going to help. Guys are going to want to have progeny and come look at this cow and come see the rest of our stuff on the farm. I think it's helping our name get out there just because we are starting. No one really has heard of us yet, and I think this is helping us big time. It's really going to help with sales, especially when we sell our heifer calf later this fall at F&L, just like where we got our mom from.
And here's a look at the market report for Northern Livestock Sales that is here in Lloydminster. And so there were 7,760 head on offer last week. And so for young cows, there was a range of 100 to 115. D1 to D2 cows were 70 to 80. D3 cows were 55 to 65. And slaughter bulls were 90 to 110. For good steers, 300 pounds to 400 pounds were a range of 280 to 330. 400 pounds to 500 pounds were 270 to 310. 500 pounds to 600 pounds were 245 to 275. 600 pounds to 700 pounds were 235 to 255. 700 to 800 pounds were 235 to 247. 800 to 900 pounds were 220 to 240. For good heifers, from 300 pounds to 400 pounds were 220 to 290. 400 pounds to 500 pounds were 220 to 250. 500 pounds to 600 pounds were 220 to 235. 600 pounds to 700 pounds were 210 to 220. 700 pounds to 800 pounds were 200 to 215. And finally, 800 pounds to 900 pounds were a range of 200 to 215. And that will do it for this week's Cattle Report. For Primetime Local News, I'm Thomas Wildman.